Hallo hier vorne. So. Hello, welcome to the next session, The Future of E-Commerce, How to Take on Alibaba and Amazon. When I was approached by the Vizions Conference makers, they asked me to talk about the future of e-commerce in a platform age. And as I'm active in this market now for over 10 years searching now for future e-commerce concepts, I will try to show you my learning curve here and actually showing you what are the best concepts of taking on Alibaba and Amazon and why this is a good idea to do it the way I'm going to show you. I'm going to give you like a little bit feedback about my history. I started actually at the Otto Group 2005, and even back then we had the job to find new future e-commerce business models. So in 2005, 2006, future e-commerce business models were shopping clubs like Mon Privé or Limango or Brands for Friends. Back then there was another concept called one product a day. This was Woot.com. I don't know, anybody here remembering Woot.com? Knowing what this is? Very popular business model, acquired for, I don't know, $1 billion or so from Amazon. And our whole day job was structured around finding out what kind of new e-commerce models were evolving in China, in the US, in other markets, and putting them in an Excel spreadsheet, putting some numbers behind it, and finding out how attractive those business models would be to acquire them for the Otto Group. Back then, like 10 years ago, the concept of platforms and marketplaces was not so popular, and it became very popular when the numbers of Amazon and Alibaba became more obvious. Okay, and these are, I don't know, some of you probably know the numbers which were published by Amazon. The revenue Amazon is responsible for is around 200 and 250 billion per year already, with a growing rate of 10 to 25%. It depends a little bit how you count it. The official number is 136 billion, but this doesn't include marketplace revenues. And when you're looking at these numbers and compare it to the competitors, for example, Walmart and Best Buy, you're going to see you won't recognize an uplift at the Walmart e-commerce numbers. You won't recognize a significant uplift from Best Buy. And when we started with finding future e-commerce concepts 10 years ago, the general understanding was, while investing in e-commerce concepts, like Walmart did with Jet.com last year, there must be an uplift helping the old companies to compete with an Amazon or eBay back these days, or an Alibaba. And that's very important to understand. The general outcome here of these charts and of this chart specifically is that the growth of Amazon and other platforms probably will continue for the next 2 or 3 years. Nobody knows what will happen afterwards, but just imagine having such a company around in the retail space, growing with like 20-30% on an already 250 billion retailing revenue. That's quite something to manage. And when you're surprised by the Amazon numbers, the Alibaba numbers are even more impressive. There's like the one day similar to the Cyber Monday, Black Friday day in China, and these are the revenues for this days, the revenue number for this days in China. So Alibaba was able to manage to come from 750 million in 2011 to almost 20 billion in revenue in one day. 20 billion GMV, general merchandising revenue. This was the value of goods managed through Alibaba in one day. And when you're seeing these numbers, and there are similar numbers for other platforms, not at this dimensions, when you're seeing these numbers, actually all the old e-commerce concepts we were thinking about in 2005, 2006, a shopping club, a marketplace, a shop for, I don't know, diapers, they don't work anymore. Those concepts don't work anymore in a world where you have conflicts with companies like Alibaba and Amazon. These numbers are way too high already to compete against them with traditional e-commerce strategies. And that's actually very hard to understand, but and very hard to digest for the most retailers we are working with. I'm working at Spryker Systems with a lot of retailers, a lot of companies that are now in the competition with Amazon, and some of these numbers are very hard to digest. But the reality is, it's getting even worse. Just one example, showing you the number of how many purchasing processes are starting at Amazon in Germany online. It's already 60% of all online purchasing starting at Amazon. 10 years ago, it was 15%. And now the number is growing to 80%. Thanks to Amazon Echo and others, this number is even growing, though even the old e-commerce strategies with like having a niche online shop, a niche marketplace, being the best in online diapers, in B2B business for screws, and being the best in SEO, SER business is not good enough anymore, because there is not enough users anymore on Google searching for a specific product, because they are starting the purchasing process on Amazon. So obviously, the old strategies don't work anymore. And I found a very, very interesting video which shows Gary Vaynerchuk, an internet personality. Anybody here not knowing who is Gary Vaynerchuk? Everybody knows Gary, okay. He's a motivational speaker, internet personality, and he was asked the question on a panel, hey Gary, how can you manage e-commerce, how can you manage this change in this kind of environment where every dimension of your business is kind of changing every week? And please enjoy the next 2 minutes of Gary.
When you started doing your Facebook consultancy for clients, it was a very different environment.
Yes.
These channels change every week. You can construct a strategy and Facebook will change the goalposts. It's primarily paid now. What are you advising your clients?
You mean like every other media platform in the world?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean,
well, yes, you do know. Is TV
changed its
no, but I mean, I don't mean it changes, which I agree with. I mean, everybody got so emotional that you have to pay for Facebook. Right? They flipped the rug from underneath us. It used to be organic. Everything is pay to play, and more importantly, it's effective. So while people still reconciled with their feelings, the best executors and practitioners disproportionately took value of the underpriced marketplace that it created. As far as changing the goalposts and things of that nature, so did TV at first. You used to do sponsorship. Ed Sullivan's show was brought to you by Lincoln Town Car. Then somebody came up with the model of the 30-second ad, and the market moved. We're at the beginning. They're changing. Tough luck. Like, the market's hard. Nobody gives a shit about you. Like, the end. Like, nobody, like, you know how pissed I am that social media came along? I had digital figured out. I built a big-ass business on it. I loved SEO. Like, I was all about banner retargeting. I followed your asses until you gave up and bought wine for free. I mean, I did it. I had it. It was good. Like, you know how fun it was for me with YouTube? YouTube was 4 months old when I started Wine Library TV. Tons of people were watching me. Like, I loved it. Like, this is exhausting. I'm pissed. Like, fuck, now we have really? We have animated fucking selfie things? Like, rainbows are coming out of my mouth? I get it. Like you've got to keep up with this shit 24/7. I'm getting old. I turned 40 in November. I'm pissed. But nobody cares. Like, sorry, fucking Poland Springs. Nobody cares that the world is moving. That's what's going to happen. And it's our job to figure out how to bring value to those people to do what we want them to do. And that's just the market. Look, some dude bought 8,000 horses before the car was invented. He lost. Right? Like the market moved on him. The price of a horse declined. And so to sit around and be upset that innovation's moving and you wish it was the way it was is fine. You're more than welcome. It's just it's a proxy to losing.
Good lesson. I'm glad Poland Springs didn't pay to sponsor that.
So essentially, he's saying two things. He's saying even he, as like a superhero in YouTube commerce or YouTube SEO, as it was named a couple of years ago, even he had to relearn everything from year to year. So his knowledge from 2005 or 2010 is kind of worthless today. And this is what we are seeing at big companies today. Even big platforms need to relearn, to rethink their strategies. The other thing he said, there's no way, he doesn't know any way which is helping you to mitigate the risk in this market. There's no way to draw some PowerPoint charts and PowerPoint slides and say, okay, we need to invest in a shopping club in Brazil, or we need to invest in a marketplace in France, or we need to become a platform XYZ. It doesn't work anymore. The only way that it's working is like doing like a test and learn. And actually, that's what we can learn from platforms. So even the only companies successful in the transformational sector have been Amazon and Google. They have transformed their businesses like 2, 3, 4 times. Their main revenue streams, their main behavior. They are the real test and learn driven companies, and that's why they became successful platforms. So let's take a look on the on companies and which are. What are the differences between those digital test and learn driven platforms versus analog companies? And we've been in a fight for years getting explained that analog companies are dumb companies and the new digital stuff is the cool stuff to be in. That's not correct from my point of view. That's like two very, very different companies. There are some companies with a product or service in their core. It could be like a manufacturer, a fashion manufacturer, for example. They do have people managing this product or service, like marketing, distribution, logistics, for example. And for them, digitization, online, that's kind of a website. That's kind of the front face to the customer. The other way around is like when we are looking at companies like Zalando or Amazon, they do have like code and data in their core. That's their main asset. This is managed by totally different people compared to a fashion online retailer, and their ambition level is still pretty high. So actually, if you're like strip away the ambition level, you're going to be a company like AOL or Yahoo. That's like not the use case, not the case you want to be in. And I give you one very, very simple example. Actually, an example which was drawn by Boris, my co-CEO, sitting here in the front row, where you get like a very solid understanding of this concept. Now think back in like the refactoring processes, refactoring projects. In like before the iPhone was invented, like the time somewhere between 1995 2008. A relaunch project of a website, usually it was like a type of 3 website on the content side or an intershop shop website. The main concern was, will the website be looking good on a 19-inch screen and on a 24-inch screen? That was the main concern back then. And is the uptime better than 99.9%? That was the main concern. That was the main thing to manage in refactoring projects. Then the iPhone was coming around, and everything changed. Then the mobile versus desktop discussions began. Then all the tablet stuff, I don't know when the iPad was invented, 2010 or something. Then the tablet stuff started, and now we have like new interfaces, like watches, for example, which are intelligent, and new interfaces like Amazon Echo, Google Home, that don't have a screen anymore. Everything that was learned in like 5 years ago with the last relaunch project of an e-commerce shop or an online website is obsolete. Nobody knows, nobody needs it anymore. Everything in terms of content marketing, SEO capabilities, UX capabilities from the last relaunch project, it's obsolete. Nobody knows, nobody needs it in a screen, in a world where you can work without screens. And this can't be managed by transforming the company all over and all over again. The pattern we are seeing at platforms and very successful big companies is that they're seeing themselves like an operating system in their core, and they put different teams around these cores, a team that is responsible for the desktop version, a team that is responsible for some mobile versions, another team, like here at Zalando, that is responsible for a Fleek app, for example. They don't compete with each other in the roadmap. They're just building their stuff based on one solid ecosystem. And actually, even Zalando or Amazon, nobody knows what will be accepted by the customer in the future. If there's nobody in the room, not the customer, not the manufacturer of software, not the company itself, who can tell you what will be the purchasing behavior of a customer in the future, you just need to find out. You just need to test and learn. You just need to try out things. There is no way to mitigate this risk by writing very, very long RFI documents and finding the best mobile app provider, and then go for it. Actually, when I remember the time when Zalando was kind of skyrocketing in 2009. We were back at Otto.de and thinking about, okay, what can they do better? Do they have like better people? Do they have like more online marketing spending? And both were actually wrong. Though they weren't better people at Zalando, like at least like 7 years ago. They don't have like bigger marketing budget, but they had the tools to try things out. They had the tools like to push a mobile app like within weeks online. They had the tools to go to a new market, and even with like the best people around in the old retailing, analog retailing companies, this was not possible. They had better people in UX, they had better people in SEO, they had better people in SEA, but they had not the tools to go out with relevant strategies to the customers and try things out. And there's some companies around, some are platforms, some are not yet known as platforms. From my perspective, About You is a platform already. Even the Alibaba ecosystem is probably the most important platform to look at. There's new platforms evolving, like Wish, which I think can be a platform in the future if they are incorporating the view of an operating system, putting new apps around it. And an app is not just an app on a mobile phone. An app could be something, could be a skill for Amazon Echo. An app could be a marketplace. An app could be a shop in other countries. And this is like, that's kind of the differentiation pattern from platform to normal companies. So eventually, there's only two options that are left on the table for now in the retail space. You can be the company that is selling products. This was the main use case. That was the best thing to be at like 10 years ago. Vertical integrated companies selling stuff, like purchasing stuff from manufacturers, selling stuff to customers, had been the hot shit. They acquired all venture capital in the market. Today, they're becoming more and more smaller companies competing for the buy box on Amazon or Alibaba and other companies. Or you can become a company providing like access to customers. And this is like what Zalando is actually doing. This is like what About You is doing. This is like what Amazon is doing. And selling access is a totally different kind of business model. And we do have like our KPI to find out if a marketplace or an online shop is becoming a platform. And this is the KPI is pretty simple. It's like, what is the amount or the quota of service revenues compared to classic revenues like selling products? And Amazon is already on a very, very high level. On the EBITDA side, it's 90% of their revenues are service revenues already. Zalando is on a level below 10%, probably 5%, but it's growing. The more service revenue you're generating, the less you are relying on revenues like selling stuff, buying and selling stuff, buying hotels, selling it to customers, buying cars, selling to cabs. The more you're in a platform business, and this changes a little bit the KPIs we're looking for. This changes a little bit how we perceive the market. It's not about market share anymore. It's not about like aggregating having like the biggest warehouse and aggregating all diapers in the market and selling it to the customers. It's like it's very easy to understand KPIs. One KPI is customer access. The more customer access you have, the better you can market it to other companies. That's actually the main investment scheme from Amazon and Facebook and Google. They're investing in devices, in services, in software that are giving them the opportunity to get more customer access. They're investing in movie licenses to have you like more spend time from you on the TV or on the laptop. They're investing in Amazon Echo in like voice devices to capture you in the moment when your analog voice is leaving this world in the digital world. It's all these investments. It's nothing different from customer access. It's everything they're doing. And the other very, very important KPI, which we are pushing very hard our customers to look at, is execution speed. So I've seen in the last like 10 years, where I've been very active in the e-commerce market, so very good e-commerce strategies, marketplace strategies, platform strategies, all the other stuff. But they are all worthless. So everything is pretty much worthless if you're not able to execute it with like 6 months, 9 months. The better is like 3 months. Those strategies are worthless. So these are the 2 KPIs we're looking at new companies. These are even the KPIs we're looking at Zalando when they're saying, okay, we want to be more like a platform, we want to go to a new market. So how strong are they in terms of customer access? How good are they in executing it? And the only variable, the only KPI here, which is interesting for us, is execution speed. That is the market we are in, and this is kind of a very, very small abstract of the slide deck we are showing to our customers, and this is actually the last slide our customers are seeing in this market. Thank you very much.